What we doing?
Y'all know it takes a special track to do this. I'm on my P's and Q's, dripping sauce. It's just the fluid, it's the chef. I'm here to remind y'all I'm sick with it. My name is stuff that's hot, it's ubiquitous. Meaning it's one and the same, simple and plain. I'm all about my paper, the bacon, cheddar, and pain. I got these lanes running for the border. The talented Mr. Porter, keep it flowing like it's water. But here we go, there we go, creeping to a low speed. Is it him and his friend sitting in the nosebleeds? Play it cool, he ain't special just cause he's on TV. Everybody's hands up, acting like they know we.
Welcome, all of you beautiful people, to another episode of the Taste Music Hear Food podcast show. I am your host, Ed Porter, and today we have a good one. This guest that we have today is someone who I look forward to talking to on a consistent basis. And today would be a great time to do such, and we're going to have some fun. But before we get into who it is, let me give this man his flowers, as he should so deserve them. Okay, today's guest is a master of the blade and a curator of confidence. From faded lines to razor-sharp precision, he's redefining what it means to be a barber in the modern era. Founder of the Top Shave Lounge in Minnetonka, Minnesota, a space where grooming meets luxury and self-care becomes ritual. He has carved out more than just clean cuts, he's built culture. He's laced up NFL rookies at the draft, brought high-end grooming into Nordstrom and Von Maur, and turned a rough first shave into a lifelong mission for excellence. But more than just fresh fades and buttery straight razor finishes, his work is about identity, confidence, and community. In the realm where edge-ups meet jazz and beard balm blends with soulful playlists, today's guest is setting a new standard, not just for how we look, but how we feel. So grab your cape, your comb, and your favorite track, because we're digging in with my friend, the one and only Mr. Johnathan McCastle.
That was amazing. I'm like, oh.
That
made me feel even better about everything I do.
Yeah, listen, we have, friendly banter like every time I see you. So there's something to be said though I remember the first time that I met you when we were having a conversation when I was going through my skin consultation. That's something that I don't know if your barber's doing that. You got a regular barber then, because before we even put, for anybody gonna crack some jokes about with hair. We're talking about, obviously, my beard, because, I'm follically challenged up top. But that's okay. Before we put any razor to face, we talked about, what it is I was looking for, any skin issues that I may have had or what have you. And anybody knows me, I did my research before I went to Top Shave. But when I finally got there, it was, it was home. And we had our conversations, and you got to really talk about why it is you do what you do. And the whole point of it all was that you're building confidence, and people leave out of your shop with more confidence than they had coming in. And let's just talk about, your origin story, like, your initial struggles and it's out there that, how you turned a not so good situation first shave into a love and care for obviously making people feel adverse to what you felt when you had, and you've also purposely let your skin get bad in order to show how fast it could be rectified. And I think that's the difference between, having a barber who is, just there to do a cut, and somebody that is, an ally for you and your skincare and your confidence as a whole being. So talk to me about your origins into getting into what you're doing, and why you do what you do.
Okay. Well, it started off, I like to feel like it starts off the same for absolutely every guy. You turn 18 years old, and right in the mail, they send you a razor. So every guy that I've known, I see guys shaving on TV.
Who sends these 18-year-old razors?
Gillette.
You get a razor at 18? Like, where's they do that at? What
comes in the mail.
And where? Like where? Where did you get your mail at when you was 18?
At home.
At home.
At my mom's house.
What state?
Minnesota.
Yeah, just for the record, hey, this you don't get razors in the mail in New York. Nowhere. I don't.
Maybe.
Nobody's sending
Listen,
razors to you.
listen.
You're not getting a free razor
Listen.
from Gillette. Did it have smallpox in it? Like,
Listen.
where's
It's been a long time since you've been 18. And so you probably wouldn't understand.
It was grape nuts and then the razor, right?
No. It was just it was like just one lone razor,
Okay.
with the head on and everything, just in the mail. And it was when you turn 18, I didn't know Gillette sent those out. I just know that one came to my house when I turned 18. So I wanted to be like the guys on TV. I wanted to be like everybody else who shaves. So I used a little shaving cream like I saw my grandfather and other people do. And I rubbed that blade across my face. I thought I did a good job. I got the hair off. But after that, I looked like, it didn't take much time for me to look like a Nestle Crunch bar. And that was part of the problem, So now I didn't know what to do, but I figured I just can't shave. And when I was in barber school, my instructor said, when you're shaving black people's face, shave. What did she say? I'm trying to think of what she said. Either, we're just supposed to shave one direction. Never go against the grain is what she said. Never, under any circumstance, go against the grain on black people. And so that was just basically the rules. Never go against the grain. But even just shaving with the grain, I would still look like a Nestle Crunch bar. So I just decided that, maybe for me and for my skin, I can't shave. And I went through barber school and I got the opportunity to shave a lot of different people, but things changed when I went from my first shop I was in to the art of shaving. What the focus there was teaching people about their skin type, how shaving is supposed to work for each individual and how it's a custom shave for each individual. So once I knew that it had to be custom, I went in, first off, when I went in there working to work, I went in thinking I know everything because I'm the barber, because I went to school for this. Mm-hmm. But the guys who were working there were shave consultants. And so they would be teaching people how to shave. And I figured, ain't no way they know more than me. But I was pleasantly surprised because they actually taught me what I should do, how to shave, once they did a skin consultation on me. Mm-hmm. And I learned the directional growth my hair was growing in. And so
everybody's different.
Each individual, you have to shave them custom to their skin. And so the with the grain and the against the grain is going to be completely and totally dependent on whose skin that we're talking about. And so once I figured that out, I realized my growth pattern was a certain way. So when I shave, I can shave with the grain. If I shave 2 times with the grain or with the grain and across the grain, I can still get a great shave without those issues. And if I did get ingrown hairs, because ingrown hairs or those razor bumps is what I really experienced, then I would put on the aftershave balm that just calms my skin down, or different products. So I learned that there's products that's going to calm your skin down and get rid of the irritation. And so now, at this point, I can teach men who have different problems or different issues that they're dealing with how to deal with those issues. And that's one of the things that makes me happy, because when you're dealing with those kind of issues and you've been dealing with those issues for a long time, you just feel like this is just it. There's nothing I can do. But once you find out that there is something you can do, you're a little more happy. You're a little more excited. Your confidence goes up. Yeah. And so that's what I want to do. I want to instill confidence. People get nicks and cuts and they don't know what they're doing wrong. Don't worry. I'll teach you how to shave for your skin so you don't get that, Mm-hmm. And so that's what I do. That's part of why I love what I do, because it makes people feel good. And then when the significant other looks at them or their parents or somebody and they start speaking in a certain way, they feel so confident. Everybody gets so excited. And that's what I like about everything that I do. I can take them from what they look like and what they feel like in the beginning to where they are in the end. And you can notice the difference. They stand taller. They hold their head up higher. and they feel like their skin is glowing. And so every time I see it, I'm excited every time I finish.
Yeah. No, that's well said. So let me preface this again. So this is Taste Music Cure Food. This is the destination for conversations about food, music, and culture. And the reason why this is such an important topic for me, I think, because for many, many moons, the barbershop has been the cornerstone of the community. And this is where you would learn things like how to shave and that a razor doesn't last forever and all these different things. And that's why that confidence comes with education and the know-how. All right. So before we get a little too deep, we're gonna jump into and play a little game I call this or that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So this or that is basically I'm going to give you two things. You got to pick one or the other. Very simple. Don't overthink it. Just first thing that comes to mind. Say what it is. All right, you ready to play?
I'm ready to play.
Okay. All right. So this or that. Straight razor or electric trimmer? You can only choose one.
Straight razor.
Straight razor. Any reason why?
I think the straight razor is the best grooming tool that has ever come out. And I think everything that they make now, even moving forward, is simply to emulate the straight razor.
Okay.
So if you want the nice tight lines in anything that you're doing, it's the straight razor.
Okay. Jazz or hip hop? One or the other.
All right, I'm gonna go hip hop, but that doesn't change my love for jazz. But
That's fine, but you can get hip hop that has jazz in it. So you get a twofer.
but they're different.
They are different, but you're never gonna find jazz with hip hop in it.
That's unfair.
I'm just saying it's a thing. You already said cool, hip hop it is.
Okay.
Beard oil or beard balm?
Beard balm. Beard balm's gonna give a little bit of shape. It's gonna give hold, and it's gonna give shine, and it's gonna help over the course of time for that beard to soften. So
Okay.
balm all day.
Balm all day. Classic barbershop or modern grooming lounge?
They both have their place.
I didn't ask that.
I'm gonna say classic barbershop,
Ah,
and I'm gonna tell you why. It's oftentimes it's just filled with like so many people. You said something earlier. It's like a cornerstone oftentimes of a community. Everybody's coming into this place. You're hearing all the gossip and information that's happening, and it's a hub.
The hum of the neighborhood.
Of the whole community.
Yeah. Okay. Live concert or intimate jam session?
I like the sound of an intimate jam session.
Okay. Intimate jam session it is.
Like intimate jam session, like those people who used to sit on a stool and just kind of.
Yeah. Whether it's a guitar or a trumpet or
I
harmonica or something like that.
I love that.
That sounds cool. I like that. And that fits with your theme. That don't fit in your classic barbershop model though. But it definitely fits in your updated barber lounge, like what you have.
I love the barber lounge.
I mean, you got one.
I love it, and what it means and what it brings. It brings solo. I mean, it brings intimate conversation to the next level.
Absolutely. Music, it's a nice segue for that too. Music plays a huge role as far as setting the mood and tone for any venue or room. Your place is no different. Actually, today would be the first day ever that I've been to the Top Shave. I was there today. That matter of fact, whenever you see me, if I am ever like freshly, lined up, cut up, this man has done it. So he is actually my personal master barber. I go to him as much as possible. So anytime I'm doing anything. But today was the first day that there was not music playing ever. It was weird. We had the little, hallway
Yeah,
music,
yeah.
but it was
You
the
won't
first
you
day.
won't hear that again.
Yeah, yeah.
You won't hear that
So
again.
so speaking of that, how important to you is music for setting that mood and setting the scene for you and your personal mood as well as your patrons?
I think it's very important. I think it could be one of the absolute most important things. I know that that might sound silly to people, but when you walk in, music can evoke emotion. Music touches people. It makes people feel. It can make people happy. It can make people sad. It can make people calm. Make people relax. And so, what I want to do, I want to create an environment that's inviting. More than anything, I want to create an environment that has like a classic feel. And so the music helps to really do just that. It changes the way people feel when they walk in. And then as their service is happening, they get to hear the music. And what I like to hear music that oftentimes is like love music, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not talking about like anything that's going in too deep or too extensive into anything, but just nice, calm music that's happy, that's positive.
Mhm.
And so that's one of that's the kind of environment that I want to bring something positive, something calming, and something that makes you feel good. By the time you leave, you feel a little bit upbuilt.
And it's definitely something that enhances the services for sure. I mean, and I think also you it's sort of a time period enhancer too. Like there's times where like we have conversations about the music sometimes too. Like when we were playing, we had a whole Rat Pack conversation one day. We was in there, we was playing all the Frank stuff. You know, I love Frank Sinatra or anything from New York for that matter. But anyway,
He loves Chicago.
yeah.
Too, but, you know.
Chicago is a great second city. It is for sure a great second city. And I love it to death.
Yeah.
As a second option. So second to New York, of course. But no, I'm just playing. I do love Chicago. Let's talk about, the barbershop, like we said, it has been, a cornerstone of the community. As far as cultural relevance, like in the Black community specifically, the barbershop, like there's movies about it, right? Like this it's the thing. It's where you go to talk about and see and come into contact with all these different characters from and depending on where you're at. Every city USA, there's a barbershop. You can look inside and see mentally what that would look like to you. As far as, for you, what does it mean to be, carrying the torch to those, whether you have a barber lounge or not, you're still in the pantheon of, establishments to be that sounding board for, so you gotta be a skilled barber, and also have to be able to hold conversations and have stuff to offer. I feel a good barber does. It's like a good bartender. You have to have the type of verbal skills to be able to communicate with just about anybody from any walk of life. How do you feel, or do you feel that sense of responsibility to be that person for damn near everybody? And what does that responsibility mean to you, or is that a thing?
I think so. I think that's a great question because I've always felt that it's very important for a barber to be able to, number one, to hold a conversation. And oftentimes that means that you have to know certain information. Now, there's certain information I'm not the best with, right? But to be able to hold a conversation, and you should be able to talk to people that the age range or the age level of people shouldn't matter, and it shouldn't matter what walk of life that they live.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to be number one, be who you are, but to be able to have stimulating conversation because everybody has something different going on. And oftentimes a barber can be like almost like a therapist for the different people that are coming in. This is how I feel personally. I feel like there's an intimate range that certain people are in around you. And what that means is like, if people you're most often for people, they're probably pretty comfortable if someone's at the very least 3 feet away from them, right? At 3 feet away, you can stand and you can put your hand all the way as far out as you can and stand in a circle, and you can make sure people are at least arm's length away. But the people, and any random person can be that far, and you're okay for the most part. Then when you get about 2 feet away, then you're like your all your friends, they can be within 2 feet and it's okay. But this 1 foot area around you, now this is just my personal theory, but this 1 foot area around you is an area where maybe your parents and your significant other, and then your barber can be, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a very intimate area that people don't really think about. And so when you're there and when you're this close, you're not just letting everybody into this space. And so I feel like there's something psychologically that puts people in a position where they're able to express themselves fully to you, even when they're not expressing it to other very important people in their life. So there's this responsibility there too. Number one, to not be giving bad advice, right? You don't want to give bad advice to people. And you got to realize it's really not about you anyway. And sometimes you got to realize also that some problems are above your pay grade. And if the problem is above your pay grade, you're going to have to tell them, oh, you're going to have to talk to someone else about that. I appreciate you expressing yourself and letting me know, but you have to talk to someone else. So as a barber, you are involved in so many different conversations. And because of that, you have to be adapt in your way of speaking, who you're speaking to, and the subjects that you're speaking about. So from the very beginning, I think barbers have always been like this and been these people for the different individuals in the communities. Not only that, I don't feel like people only feel like you're a barber over time. Yeah. Because you're dealing with people for years. Sometimes you're cutting a father, a son, and a grandchild. And you have you have generations of different individuals who you're actually dealing with. So you become kind of like family, and the kids are calling you uncle this, uncle that, right? Oh, that's your uncle. Because you're so ingrained in people's lives. I have a family. I cut the father, the mother, the son, and the grandson's hair, And so it's such a cool feeling to know that you're not just a random guy anymore, especially when you spend time with the different individuals. You kind of become like family, but to different people, to so many different groups. Yeah. And that's what a barber is to me.
That's super cool. Like on this bad advice thing too. What's the best hot dog again?
Chicago hot dogs are the absolute
advice, bro.
best hot dogs in the world. And it's really not a debate.
You're out here giving bad advice. As
There's
usual.
no hot dog can touch a Chicago hot dog.
Let's agree to disagree. We were right. Anyway, you know what? There's another thing that we touched on a little bit that I think we should dig into because it's a conversation we've had as well. So there's this misnomer. So I've always believed this, but you confirmed this for me. I believe if you're a barber, sort of like if you're a chef. Yeah. If you're a chef, you may have your specialties, but you should be knowledgeable about food in general. Mm-hmm. There shouldn't be anything that you're totally thrown off base with if you were confronted with.
Completely.
Same thing with a barber. So I remember I've sent quite a few people to you of all walks of life, all races and colors. And like, I've got to, well, does he cut white people here? I'm like, he can cut anybody's hair. And he's done the gambit. And so I didn't realize how of a common question that was until I've encountered it a couple of times. And because they figure like, oh, well, you go to him. Yeah, I go to him. But I mean, if you've seen the, United States of Benetton that walks in and out of his space, which is what I really do also like about your place of business, is that it's for all. Like you just said, you cut, all the genre, all the different family members, women and men. But speak to me about the fact of being able to to be that barber that, can do all. So it's not, there's no limitations to your craft, because I'm sure you probably deal with that from time to time too as well.
I do. So in barber school, really, I think it all starts in barber school. They kind of make you cut absolutely everything anyway, because the goal is for you to know how to do absolutely everything. And the funny thing about barber school, by the time you're finished, the goal is to get you to be able to cut one haircut, just one. One haircut is, when you take a state board, it is one haircut, the same haircut. And
what was your test haircut?
It's the state boards. It's like, so the classic white guy haircut where there's going to be a little taper on the side and in the back. You're going to, shearing comb over the top and blend everything in over the side. That is the one haircut that you have to know to officially be a barber. So even with that said, my first day in barber school went this way. I was there for an hour. I had never cut hair before a day in my life. We took a class. We were in the class because there's a class session every day. And then, so the class session was over. And then she said, "Hey, you, what's your name?" So my name is Johnathan. She was like, "Cut that man's hair." And I was like, "Oh, I just got here."
Yeah, the way my clippers are set up.
Yeah. And I was like, "I don't even have clippers yet. I just got here." She said, "Use that station. Use that station over there. Cut that man's hair." I said, "How should I cut it?" She said, "In whatever style he wants it." And so that's kind of how you're thrown into it. Mm-hmm. Your job is to cut someone's hair in whatever style they want it, no matter how they want it, right? And so the motto is MSU, make stuff up, right? If you don't know how to do it, if you've never done it ever, what does the photo look like of the haircut?
Yeah.
Make it look like that photo.
Yeah.
And so over the course of time, when that's what you have to do. You have to make stuff up in order to make it happen, because the goal is to simply get it to look like that.
But I feel that comes with the basis of knowledge and the skill set. So like the fact that happened on day one is crazy to me. Like it was like, yeah, go ahead.
It was hard.
Go. You think? I'm sure that guy's looking for you right now.
First off, listen. That haircut was like 2 hours.
He got bangs right now.
The haircut was like 2 hours. I got it somewhere in the ballpark.
Yeah. He wanted to walk out with a baldy at the end.
No. Listen, and then the instructor would come, and anything you didn't do right, they'll come clean up for you in the end.
Oh, okay.
So you're not.
So dude was there for like 3 hours.
He was there for a while. Like I'm not happy about that.
That's what he gets for the $2 haircut.
I'm embarrassed a little bit. I'm a little embarrassed about it. But so because that's your base, one of the things my instructor told me, she said, that what's the hardest thing for you to do? And, once you identify what the hardest thing for you to do is, don't run from it, run toward it. Make that the thing that you're the best at.
Yeah. Make your weakness a strength.
Yeah. And so that's what I do. That's my approach to cutting hair, to shaving, to beards, to the art of luxury men's grooming. Mm-hmm. That's my approach. If there's something that I don't feel like is my strongest, my goal is to make that the thing that I'm the absolute best at. And so this way I start to cover weak points. So there's no hair that there's no men's grooming.
Yeah.
Generally men's grooming that I'm not willing to do from the neck up. I'll get you together. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't matter your nationality or anything like that. As long as you want this done, I'm here to do it for you. And I know how to do the job, because what you find is each of the exact same techniques that you can use on one culture, you can use it on the other culture. You just have to know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Lots of people get out of barber school and they're like, not doing that. I'm only cutting black hair. I'm only cutting white hair. I refuse to do this or that. But for me, I look at it like, if I choose one over the other, what I'm really doing is limiting my ability to make money to take care of my family.
Right.
And I'm not in the business of limiting my ability to take care of my family. I'm in the business of taking care of people so that I can take care of my family. So I make sure that there's no one's hair that I cannot cut.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's talk about some of your accolades. So, again, I mentioned it in the intro. NFL draft. You did, a bunch of soon-to-be NFL stars, which I'm sure we talked about that. That was a cool experience. Lake Minnetonka Magazine. Blade Runner. That's how I found you. So that's how I came in contact. So I've been. We're going on like 3 or 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy.
I think so.
Yeah. Still with the Chicago hot dog thing. Anyway, your collaborations with high-toe retailers, Nordstrom's and Von Moore and all those different things. Talk to me about what it means to go from when you first started that first haircut with the 2-hour haircut with the guy to where you are now, and how have these accolades fueled you to jump out on the limb and to start the Top Shave Lounge, and you did that in the heart of the pandemic. So talk to me about that.
Okay. Let me just find the right place to start. My barbershop that I was at initially, I was at a shop in St. Paul called the Grooming Barbershop, and everybody was heavy hitters as far as people who can do haircuts. And so you were not, if you couldn't do a great haircut, you can't make it in there, and so they'll let you know if you can't do a great haircut. So the goal is to get great at doing haircuts. And so that's what I did over the course of time. And I maintained, being able to shave and do those types of things while I was in there. And so that only prepared me for what I was going to do next. It started off there. Everything starts off, from your base, and that's my base. Your personality should be inviting. And so because your personality is inviting, then you want to take every opportunity that you can, especially in the beginning when you're not making a whole lot of money. You got to do what you can to make the money. So the more inviting you are, the more telephones you're answering, the more people you're talking to, the more opportunities there are in front of you. So people will come in and nobody will be talking to them, but don't worry, I got it. I'm going to talk to him. And then I started cutting the guy, and he played on one of these college football teams. He liked how I treated him. He liked how I cut his hair. And so the next time he came in basically with his team. And he said, "Hey, y'all, this is the guy we go to." So that team started coming in here, and then they started telling their friends. And so I got about 3 different college teams coming in there, and everybody was coming to me to get their haircut. And people was like, "That's unfair."
Yeah, you got to go.
But it's because if someone comes in, I'm not afraid to go up to the person and talk to them, right? And so there was another guy that would come in, that came in the first time. Nobody was talking to him. I talked to him. Turns out he was on the St. Paul Saints. Mm. And so he would have the St. Paul Saints players come in. And so then now I got this team too, right? Mm-hmm. And then everybody's like, "You don't even watch sports like that. Why do you get all athletes?" But it starts not with knowing what people do. Right. With just trying to be good at whatever it is that you do. So that's really kind of where it started. And then from there, I kind of moved forward. One of the guys who was on one of the college teams ended up going to the NFL. So that was one of my players that was already in the NFL anyway. And he went over to New England and won the championship, came back, and I was still cutting his hair. But while I was working at the Art of Shaving, that's when I had my next opportunity. So I believe in talking to different people, and the more conversation you have, the more opportunities that it's possible that they might come your way. Mm-hmm. So while I was at just working at the Art of Shaving, the Art of Shaving ended up making a deal with some type of deal with the NFL draft. And so we became the official of the NFL draft. But my district manager ended up coming from Chicago because that's where the NFL draft was going to be. And she said, "I want a young person who's going to be, or someone who is going to have the right personality to be able to connect with these young individuals at the draft." And so there was, of course, couple different barbers in Chicago, and then there was even when you come here, there was me, there was another barber that we had here, and so she said, but she felt like I had the right personality to be able to connect with them, and so of course I see that as an honor, and so now I go here, and then I get the opportunity just to connect with a whole bunch of these young guys, cutting their hair, lining their beards up, just making them look good for this draft event. And it was just such a cool opportunity. And then so I did that. And then I had to come home early because I had another event. They invited me to a draft party after, but I wasn't able to because I already set up a different event because I started cutting the manager at Nordstrom's, and we started having, and he loved his services. He loved what he was giving. And they have these parties and things like that. And so he was like, would you be interested? And, so through the relationships that you build, you get to meet people who love what you're doing. And so we start talking. I was like, I wanted to be an event barber because there are different barbers who do work for events. And I've always thought that would be amazing. So that's what I wanted to do. And so he said, why not do Nordstrom's for our next party? So that's how I got the Nordstrom's. And then, so once I got Nordstrom's, I was able to do that a couple of times and then I did 2 different Nordstrom's, and I was doing some work with Jack Black at the time. And then so Jack Black liked what I was doing at Nordstrom's, and they were like, hey, can you do this at Von Maur too? And so then I got the opportunity to go there. So when you do good work and you put in the energy and the effort, and you are able to communicate effectively with different individuals, then oftentimes that puts you in a position to be able to move in a way that you would like to move. So that's what I feel like I did. They said, what did they say? Yeah, really, that's it. I was moving in a way that I felt like made sense for what it was that I was trying to do. And I always felt like, barbering, you're getting like $10, $15, $20 a haircut. That's how it started out. And I always thought that there's got to be a high end to this, Yeah. Like there's no way this is it. And so I was like, I said, there's people who clean for the president. They clean for a very wealthy family and they make a lot of money. How can I do that? And that's what I started to focus on, to see what I can do. And so, just doing these things and the connections that I've got has put me in a position where I'm like, okay, now I can do this because I realize that there's different lanes.
Right. There's an avenue for it.
There's an avenue for everything. Yeah. And then even so from the NFL draft event, there were players who came, at least one player who came here to Minnesota, and they were like, I saw him at the mall, and he was like, man, I was looking for your number. Like, he noticed me when I was walking. He was like, hey, I remember you from the draft event, and I was looking for your number, and I just couldn't find it. So he was like, can I get in with you? And that kind of helped me to get more athletes coming in and more of these different individuals. So it's the energy, work, effort that you put in, and you have to meet people. If you don't meet people,
well, yeah, you're in the people business.
That's it.
At the end of the day, it's you can only be as good as your clientele allows you to be. We often people think about a barber or a haircut as a superficial thing, when in all actuality, there is, like you said, it's part of every. I know. Self-care is a hot button topic these days, and it's usually something that's reserved for women, right? But it's definitely going to your barber and having them help you with any kind of issues you may have, whether it's a skin issue or even if it's just shooting the shit and getting a lineup and having the time for yourself is, I think, it's a necessity. I rope it into a necessity for me. And so it's definitely one of those things that I feel people should have in their repertoire of things. And then, of course, looking good and feeling good. There's no way around that. It's part of the thing. So I would like to get into the psychology behind grooming and its impact on self-esteem because there's some issues or some topics in there that I think people glaze over at times. What, how do you feel? And I know you deal with this on a daily basis, but how do you feel about the impact that you have made or make on a daily basis with someone that comes in that is not in the best of moods or spirits as far as how they look, or maybe they have a skin irritation issue or just don't know how to shave? I remember my first time I looked at a straight razor, I was like, I could never use one of these. How do you feel your impact is made specifically on the younger generation too? Because I know you deal with a lot of young kids too. How do you feel that comes across or that translates to them?
I think young, old, older, it doesn't make a difference. I've worked with people who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who've given up on being able to do things. Mm-hmm. But when they're able to do it, it feels like power. You know what I mean? Just like, it's like, I can do something that I did not have, that I did not know I had the ability to do. And with the younger generation, they're struggling with a different thing. A lot of these guys are going through, especially when they bring the young ones in, they're going through puberty and different things like this. They're having like all of these bumps and things, and they don't know what to do. And so I can help them to learn how to, number one, take care of their skin. All of their skin needs to be taken care of, and you can't just use anything. So once I help them go in the right direction, I think oftentimes that's kind of what gets you those lifetime clients, because once you help them and they realize that whatever
they'll never forget that.
They realize what I was going through, I don't have to. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's very important for them, their self-confidence, how they see themselves, but how other people see them too,
Absolutely.
Helping someone to be able to shave and to be able to line a beard up so that it looks decent on your face. It makes you feel good, I
also thought so, and it's key. You keep hitting on this point that I think is key too. You've said it like 4 times now. So there's not many other barbers that are going to show you how to maintain your own stuff at home. You do that on a consistent basis. Because and you also understand, like, look, I want you to come in.
Yes.
But I also know there's going to be times where you don't or you can't. And so if you're ever in that situation, this is what you do to maintain what you look as close as possible. You're not going to get it probably to this level, but you have a base to start with so that you can at least attempt to, get yourself to where you need to be. And I think that's super duper commendable because I've never met a barber that would even offer that.
That's not the general consensus for any barber. What we want as barbers, we want you to come in as absolutely as often as possible. If you got to come in every week.
Come in every week.
We want you to come in every single week. But I don't feel like it's a loss for me. I feel like this. This is how I feel. I feel like every individual, depending on what, I don't really care what job that you have. A lot of people feel like they're doing things to help other people, and barbers are the same. It's no sweat off of my back to help you to do something, to be able to help yourself, not today, but moving forward toward the future. They say if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man a fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And that's what I'm trying to do in the business that I'm in. I want to teach men to fish, teach them how to take care of themselves so that they can benefit, because there's certain things that we just don't know, that we haven't been taught. Now, there's someone there who can teach me, and that I don't feel embarrassed. I don't feel like, oh man, like I can't believe this guy's saying this to me. Then that takes things to the next level for me. Yeah. So that's why when I sell products, I sell products that are like personal grooming products from body to clean your body, to clean your face, the whole everything for men's grooming. That's what I'm here for, to help them to take care of themselves as individuals, because you feel better when you take care of yourself. Right. You look better when you take care of yourself. You smell better, and it all contributes to the way you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
Self-confidence is what I tell people. Self-confidence comes from inside. Your self-confidence doesn't necessarily come from outside. But when you feel like you look good, and when you feel like you've set yourself up in a way, like, you should see the guys once they're done, how they look at themselves, how they move their hair this way and that way if they got hair, or how they start to, I tell people, I say, hey, listen, for the next about half hour to 45 minutes, you on superstar status. Don't touch your skin and your face. You got oils and things in your hands. Mm-hmm. And we just did a heavy exfoliation with this blade. So don't touch your face. Allow your face to start to heal up naturally, and your pores to close properly, so you don't put anything in there. And they're like, but they want to touch it. They want to touch it because they feel like they look so good. Mm-hmm. I can say that to their significant other, and they're just going to touch their face anyway, because they're going to be like, ooh. And the people, they walk. They got more cool in they walk when they leave than when they got there.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And so that's what grooming does. If you learn how to take care of yourself, you feel better. When you feel better, there's many different things in your life that you do better, because you're already feeling like you're on that next level up here. And so that's what I wanted. That's why I want you to take your grooming home.
Right. And that's a good segue too. Like, that's beyond the chair. That's the impact that, the Top Shave Lounge has on all of its patrons going, when they leave. It's that feeling shouldn't only be in the chair or in those four walls. It's something that you carry out with you, and you feel confident enough that you could, always attain that level of feeling. And that's a great thing. All right. Before I let you go, we're going to play a little select. It's time for the lightning round.
Okay.
Okay, so lightning round, rapid fire questions. Again, I'm going to give you a question or a phrase, and you're going to tell me the first thing that pops into your head.
I got rapid answers.
You got rapid answers?
I got rapid answers.
We shall see.
Okay.
All right. Favorite grooming tool? You said you had rapid answers, bro.
Wait. Okay. Liner blade.
Liner blade. Okay. Mm-hmm. Go-to comfort food.
This is not as easy as I thought.
Where's the rapid?
But wait.
You said you had rapid answers.
Go-to comfort food.
That's what I said.
Oxtail.
Any specific style of oxtail?
I like it. Jamaican style. I like Jamaican stewed oxtail.
Okay.
Curried oxtail.
Okay. Dream musical collaboration
between different individuals, like not me.
No. If you could ever sit with and cut and be a part of grooming a musical artist, who would that be?
That's a tough one. I'm trying to think.
You forget that
this is not
rapid fire.
This is rapid fire, but this is not a rapid fire question. Like this is not this or that. This is like A, B, C, D, E. Okay,
pick one. First one that comes to mind.
Can we come back to this one?
Nope. No skipping.
Okay. Oh, nobody have hair like that. I
don't got hair like that. You still got beards though.
Okay.
We're just gonna say it's me.
Okay, yeah. Let's go with you on this one, like, man. Because I'm starting to think. I'm thinking all the way back in the past. I'm thinking about people who's not alive.
They don't have to be alive. They don't have to be alive. Any musical, any person that is of a musical talent that you could think of that you would love to have that conversation, because that's really what it's about. Them sitting in your chair. Who would that be?
You know what? It sounds silly, but I have Jay-Z in there, man.
Okay. All right. That's good. Most memorable client story.
Too many. Most memorable. I want to be able to tell. I can't. I mean, like that, because the memorable stories is bad stories.
Don't tell the story, but if you got one, you could give him give him a nickname.
I this don't sound good. It was memorable because it was kind of wild. This guy was telling me that he beats his wife. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not a good shareable story.
You could have left that one out.
That's what I'm saying.
You could have made something else
And
up.
then I got other stories that's also not necessarily shareable stories.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Take that out.
No.
Okay.
One word to describe your journey.
Fun.
Okay. That's a great one. You've, again, from NFL to the high-end stores to cutting the dancers for shares when she came to town. You did that as well.
Madonna.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am.
I know. Like, same thing. Same thing, right? Madonna, Cher. I thought she was a music man.
I beg your
Okay.
I beg your pardon. Madonna. It also, you went to a snazzy little event in Vegas. That was a cool event for you.
I went to an amazing wedding. Yeah. It's like it was a great wedding. Just throwing it out there. I'm not gonna say whose, but
that was a great wedding. So tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, what you got going on, how can they follow you, give them all your socials, all your things.
Okay. Well, the way you can get in touch with me, I have first off, you can visit thetopshavelounge.com, and that's really going to be a very easy way to get in touch with me. But the Top Shave Lounge, basically on everything. So it's the Top Shave Lounge on Instagram, on Facebook. It's the Top Shave Lounge on your app store, whether you're in the Android market or the Apple market. You can book with me 24/7. If you just look up the Top Shave Lounge, my app will come up and you can always book on there. So whenever you get the opportunity, when you need to feel confident, when you need to feel good, book at the Top Shave Lounge.
Awesome. Thank you, Johnathan, for being here. Your dedication to your craft, to the community at large, and what you do for the men and women that visit you and also the children that visit you cannot be understated. I as a patron of the Top Shave Lounge, I commend you for what you do, and thank you for all that you do. Again, visit the Top Shave Lounge on your Android stores as well as the Apple store. That's how I book all my appointments in the app. Again, the Top Shave Lounge, follow on all socials. This has been another episode of the Taste Music Hear Food podcast show, the destination for all things food, music, and culture, and how they all connect. I am your host, Ed Porter. Thank you for watching and listening. Until next time. Peace.
You know what we doing. Y'all know it takes a special track to do this. I'm on my P's and Q's, dripping sauce. It's just the fluid, it's the chef. I'm here to remind y'all I'm sick with it. My name is stuff that's hot. It's ubiquitous.
MBC. No relation to NBC.